Hey everyone, no one left behind here, and we're back with the next part of building the staff in Euran. And we've just completed the Dead Lake Desert, and we've come back into Orad, and we're going to talk to Tandreas. And we're going to talk to the village idiot assistant of his, and he'll give us a map of Euran so we don't get lost on our travels. This is something that will come in handy, and you can access it through the item menu. You go down, I believe it's miscellaneous or key items, something along those lines. Okay, so we're going to get another ladder from his assistant, and we're going to head back through Shadow Wall Mountains. We're going to trek through there. We're going to avoid the monsters because they're easy pickings and not worth the XP or our time to stop and bother with them. Which is fine, but we're going to come up to this next part of the story, and it's the snowy winterland. Let's see here. I'll pop this up. Windy Snowland. I got it backwards. And there's no winter. Okay, so use the ladder, and we're gonna fight a new enemy, the Steel Golem, who is probably gonna give a lot of people a lot of trouble because when he melds with another enemy, he becomes like wicked strong, and it just messes everybody up. And we're gonna come across this town called Fjordawick, and there's 4 items that I found in the level. And I'm gonna rephrase how I say these items because I know I missed some, and I know I missed some in the dungeons. The next few, I think I was really thorough, but some of the ones before, I might not have been so thorough. So I'm just going to say that these are the items I found in this area. And there's probably going to be some other walkthroughs out there that are going to go through and they're going to tell you every little thing, 100% of them, what to do. Okay, so we come to Fjordawik. We talk to the guy in the center. He's going to tell us that everybody in town's been changed to these monsters, and he's going to tell us to like talk to them. And while that makes little sense, go do it. And they're just gonna mutter stuff at you like blah 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 blah. And after you talk to each one, he's like, "Oh, well, go talk to the next one. Maybe there'll be something different." Um, Iokas, he's a hermit. We can kind of see why he's a little crazy. Obviously, why do I want to go talk to monsters? They might be people in real life, but dude, they're still monsters right now. Alright, so we're gonna go over to this one, and she's gonna freak out, and I think she's gonna attack us. Yeah, she's gonna attack us. Um, Kick her butt. Actually, that might be a difficult match, depending on what level you're at. Level 27. I think Baldrin and one other character survived that battle. Anyways, so he knows that Nemoris came to his town, and he's gonna be like, "Look, he changed them all into monsters. If you get this magic frog from him, we can change everybody back and probably help you find this artifact you're looking for." And being the good person you are, we're gonna go find Nemoris, kick his butt once again, and get that stuff back for him. When we come up here, we're gonna find a portal. So if you need to go back to Aura, that's fine. There's also a healer a little bit east of there, and there's also some side quests and stuff that I'm not covering. But east of the portal, there is a healer, so you don't have to walk all the way back or teleport or do any of that. It's really close. But in this immediate area are the treasures I showed you. East of here is a side quest and another big enemy. I'm gonna try and cover that in another video. Although after checking YouTube and seeing all this stuff, there's a lot of people that have been really thorough through these areas, so it might just benefit you to check through those if you're needed immediate help. And this is the endless passage. This is the key that is given to us by Iokas. And there are just so many treasures in here. One thing I do want to point out, if you'll notice, there's these blue crystals. They're called frozen imps. They're going to give you these imp wings, and you need 58 of those. I pointed it out in the list I put in the last video of all the items you're going to need to complete the side quests. So save those items because some of the rare drops pain in the ass to go back and get it. Anyways, the frozen imps, you'll use them immediately after this to level up, but you're gonna have to come back later in the game. That's not beside the point. But I do want to say something about the dungeon. It's basically just this straight arrow to the northeast. You just keep following it to the northeast, and you'll find it. I am going to point out right here that next to that there is a rainbow medal hidden in the corner. Make sure you pick it up. Don't miss that. I know I missed a couple, so it's going to be a pain going back and finding the ones that I did miss. But having these available, I kind of know which areas I haven't checked. And I think we're almost through. We're going to find a town area up here once we get a little bit further. Because I know it's a pain running all the way back or using up all your items. And you're going to need, a lot of the good healing items. Save your seeds of revival and the stuff like that. Because when you get here to a couple of these next boss battles, this is when the game actually starts to get pretty hard. If you're playing on hard, it requires that, hour or two of level farming before you can go take on the boss. Unless you're, very vigilant about always, like, oh, well, I'm going to go explore every little corner all the time. And, I know how RPGs get, guys. You don't have to tell me. So like I said, we found a little town area. We can do most of our shopping. Use the savant, use the healer, buy new skills. There's always new skills to be had. After each artifact you get, there's a whole new skill set, or at least a couple new skills you can get. It's really good to play with the passive skills, and I was going to talk about that. I don't have anything. Well, let me rephrase that. Short of something very painstakingly laborious, there are some passive skills that you're going to get. One thing I got for Baldrin was, I think the first thing I got him was like triple rainbow pearls, so that when you're at the spot you can level them up higher quicker. And then when the triple or the double XP comes out, I got it for him immediately. I will point out that there's a little secret passage here. You go through those two flames, and you find another rainbow medal on top of the ones that I've already pulled out. So there's like 3 or 4 in this area. Like I said, this dungeon is huge. It's probably going to take you, I would guess if you're playing on hard, it's going to take you 4 or 5 hours to get through and get everything. You might be able to run through it really quickly, but man, those steel enemies, or the steel golems, until you get to about level 30, they're going to give you a good run for your money. So we are at the end of the Endless Passage. One of the 2 dungeons we'll be covering in this part of the run through. I had to shorten this up because I had split this 1 hour of Euran that I've limited it to into 3 different sections. And I'll mention to you that if you take that, it'll send you back to the beginning. But you come up here, and we got another little town area. We got some treasure. You'll use the frozen imp-wings in this area, and we'll find the Forgotten Peak, where Nemoris is apparently hiding out. And there are also a bunch of treasures in this dungeon. In this section of the game, there's probably more treasures than any other section of the game. At least individual treasures. They're just everywhere. They're abundant. You can find them all over the place. So, I hope I've been talking to the mic loud enough. And you all can hear me. Okay, so essentially the object of this dungeon is that you'll come to this center room, and there are 6 portals surrounding you. Each one of those portals leads to a switch. You'll have to go through like a little mini dungeon, so to speak. So you're going around these mini dungeons, you're fighting enemies, you're picking up items, you're getting more money. There's nothing really too specific to mention about this. In this section, there's portals I've walked past. I later found out that if you take them, you can kind of skip through the dungeon real quickly, and you find the switch and drop the gate. And all 6 of these have a respective gate to drop. Right where they're next to, that's the one that it'll take care of. So, I think I want to put on some Mario music or something, like just some walking music, because there's really not a lot to explain. You just have to keep an eye on the video. Most of these little mini dungeons are really straightforward. There's nothing like too crazy, tricky. You come down here and you're like, what the heck? There's nothing to go. Okay, well, you step on the lights, you come over here, fight the guy. Another switch, second one down. I just want to know how Nemoris just runs through all this stuff. I wish I was the evil guy in an RPG for once, because I just want to fly through the dungeons like they do. I get like 20,000 XP. I don't have to fight any enemies. I can like pass through walls and like travel into the 5th dimension and pop back wherever the heck I feel like I I want to. Um, but yeah, so with 3 switches down, all these really straightforward. Oh, in this last one, I know you're gonna find a rainbow metal in the north there. Forgot to point that out. I want to say that at this point in the game, I have Valdrin, Selena, or Serena, and Dozaru as my characters. And I've kind of stuck with them, and I've just pumped Valdrin full of every small animal I've gotten up to this point. I think I've given Valdrin. So he's like this like massive tank. He just rips through enemies. It's kind of impressive, at least in my eyes, just like how powerful you can make him. Uh, but I think the reason I switched to Serena is because she has some massive attacks to lay down on enemies. And I'll be honest, I didn't really play with after I got rid of Trisha. I mean, that was pretty much the end of it. I haven't really gone back to play with her. I haven't. I didn't play with Garoto. He seemed like an interesting character, but I wasn't really too intrigued. I was like, I want my tank, I want my main dude, and I want my mage. I just didn't really see any other point in having him in there because I put the blocker passive skill on Dozaru. So if I really have a tough enemy or tough situation, you can use Baldrin's Earth Crusher or some of his other moves to like hit enemies at an angle, and you put Dozer in front, and then you use Serena to put up magic walls, and you use protect and haste and heal, so that everybody's like pumped up. You're doing a bunch of damage. You like bottlenecked your enemies. These are just strategies to think about. After watching some of the other people's videos on how to take down the bosses and such, I feel like they've done a good job. So I may end up just linking my videos to theirs, and helping them out with views, and it saves me some editing and lets me move on to some other projects that I've become interested in. I want to say that yeah, in this area, there's really not much. Most of these things just lead to each other. I think there's a couple treasures, but nothing too crazy. And I believe that's all 6 that I talked about. Have I bored you guys yet? Okay, yeah, that's all 6. So taking care of all 6, we're gonna walk around this little path. We're gonna find another little portal down here, and I want to mention that I might be a newbie in saying this, but the portal that it goes to, or where it goes to the statue that makes the sound, and then I don't know what it does. I haven't seen any stat differences. I think one time I did notice that one of them gave me haste, so I think each one of the statues does a different thing. And this is our third time fighting the monster. And yeah, he's going to be at 20,000 XP, and he's going to be fast, and I believe he's going to have some pretty hard-hitting monsters with him. At the end of this, I added what Rainbow Moon and East Asia Soft and SideQuest Studios thought that it would be good for you to know if you're having trouble with a certain enemy, or there's some tricks like you can look for the speed boost if you're having a lot of trouble, or you can, make sure you go and level up your items at the smith, make sure you level up your characters at the savant, make sure you buy the most upgraded equipment, make sure you get the newest skills, and, some of the older skills, maybe it's good to fight some older enemies, and something like. But anyways, so we beat Morris, we got the magic frog, we came back to Fjordawick, and Fjordawick, and he divvies up this magic frog. He just takes the butcher's knife and splits it into 3 parts. And funny enough, on the inside of the parts, they each had the individual people's names written on them. Go figure. I figured I could just give them to whoever, but no, they're labeled. Okay, so give the split up magic frog to each one of the people, and come back and talk to Iokas each time. He's gonna be like, "That's awesome, the town's saved. You're a hero. You're saving the world one village at a time." And getting artifacts. So it's crazy. It's like I'm helping people, I'm accomplishing my mission. It's like usually those 2 things don't work out, but hey, whatever. So after you heal the village, Iokas will give you a key to his house, which is on the outskirts of town. And I want to say there's a pretty beastie set of monsters guarding it. I think I think I beat it before I went through those 2 dungeons, or maybe after the Endless Passage is when I beat it. So once you get through both of them, if you actually waited, it really might not be that difficult. And you'll go down here and you'll talk to Aeocus' daughter, and she's going to give you the artifact. She's been holding on the entire time. So you help the village, she gives you the artifact. It seems like a fair trade. And she'll give you the ethereal spike, and you'll get another trophy. Hurrah! One more trophy down on our quest for our platinum. And after this, we are going to head back to Orad, and we are done with this area. There is a side quest, like I said earlier, side quest up in the northeast, and some items need to give another character. But oh, here's what I was talking about: what to do against tough opponents. There's a number of things. Like I said, merchants, buy new weapons, upgrade your weapons. Oh, that's right. We've been finding these items called crystals. If you use those crystals on a regular item, not an item plus, like the standard version of any item, depending on what kind of crystal it is and what kind of item you have and who the item is for, those crystals will add the plus to your weapon and make it stronger all the way around. And then you can still add, your glowing ooze or something to strengthen certain things. So yeah.